taking place, breaking norms, setting trends. Wage of the day, uncontained, making space, cultivating grace. Yeah. Filling space, converging minds on the same page. Every day, every way. Word of the day. Word of the day. Conversation. Yeah. Be alright, be alright. Life is strange, full of pain. Joy and happiness is all the same. But you have to reclaim. Become your best self. Stop tripping off what people say. Don't you know it's gonna be a brighter day, brighter day, brighter day, brighter day. Lift your hands. Do it, y'all. Come on, better, 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 better. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Better, 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 better. Taking place. Breaking norms, setting trends, wage of the day, uncontained, making space, cultivating grace. Yeah. Man, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? You know what it is. It's Wade's Word of the Day. Wade's Word of the Day. I'm so grateful and thankful to be hanging out with each and every one of you on this evening. Come on, I need everybody to do me a favor. Yeah, take the first 30 seconds. We do that. The first 30 seconds to tag, text, tell somebody, like and share. Make sure that you are, in fact, liking the post itself. Put a little heart and a little like on that. I certainly would appreciate that. I really will. I'm going to do what I'm asking you all to do as well. Just going to tag a few folk real quick. Tell them to come on into the space. Y'all know, yeah, we're here. So go ahead and do that real quick. Tag and text and tell them. Yeah, tag and text and tell them to come on into the space. Hey, it's Wade's Word of the Day. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night, we're here at 8 p.m. where we chop it up one with another, talk about all of those things that matter to each and every one of us, right? We deal with the mind, the body, and the spirit. That's what we do here in Wade's Word of the Day. Practical stuff, dealing with practical things. That's what we do. So, hey, it's Monday. I love Mondays. So everybody check in. Everybody who's in the space, go ahead and check in. Let me know how your day was, what's happening with you. Even if you got a question for your boy, go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. But yeah, everybody holler, shout it out. It's Monday. Mondays, fresh start, fresh chance, new beginning, new opportunity. This is why I love Mondays so much. This is why I love Mondays so much. Come on, I need you to tag somebody, text somebody. I see you, Lori. Thank you for coming into the space. Duchess, we see you as well. Shakira and others. Thank you for coming into the space on tonight. Everybody, I don't see you. I need you to, 30 seconds. Go crazy. Hit those hearts and those likes. Do your boy a favor and do that real quick. I'm doing it as well. Like that post, heart that post now. Y'all go ahead and do that as well. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Right? Let's keep Jessica and her family lifted up in prayer. Let's do that. Yeah, right. I think we've done enough of that. I thank y'all so much for liking and sharing and all of that good stuff. Yeah. Wow. So y'all know what it is. Our three tiers. Sundays with LHBC every Sunday morning, 10:15. Ways Word of the Day. Uh, Monday through Friday. I mean Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then the Life Center. Get in where you fit in. We're on TikTok. We're on uh, YouTube. Going live on YouTube right now as well, and we're on Instagram. You can find us in all of those spaces. Make sure you tap into our content, and you can any day of the week. You know what we do is beyond Sunday. That's what we like to. Uh, that's how we like to say it because we are in fact live streaming together, and that live streaming is just a recognition that what we do is beyond Sunday. Is beyond Sunday. Yes, Sunday is a part of it, but it's beyond Sunday. It's about living out our lives together in a real, tangible way, day to day, so forth and so on. So make sure when you post, make sure you put that tag up there. Hashtag live streaming together. And then also that hashtag fresh and fit. Make sure you do that. We would appreciate it. It helps us to do what we do. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit that stars button. EJ started off this week, so we'll just continue that thought. 300 stars. 300 stars is basically $3, right? So if you can, if you will, go ahead and hit that stars button. Help us out on this evening. So I figured on a Monday, I was been thinking about the journey, um, a lot of self-reflecting, and I think that's important. I share that in this space all the time to really look inward, right, and really begin to discover your passions, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, and I was just going back through like some of my older notes around different things or whatever, and a few years back, I remember I was running for a particular office, whatever, and I had kind of like a kickback meet and greet type of thing. And I was going through, uh, and I was rehashing kind of what I said on that night. And I was like, um, some of the things that I shared on that night are still true for me today. I'm a big believer in this notion of methods change. Um, but I believe we also have like these core things that we really believe that kind of transcends whatever seat we're sitting in. They become like kind of the core of our thinking per se, if you will. And so I just started to read, and I was like, man, in terms of methodology, that's a constant, in terms of changing and all of those things. I believe that, but the core values of what I believe when I think about community and different things, um, they stand true even today. And so I thought about a few of those things, and I thought I would just share them again, just in terms of tonight for a conversation. I want you to join in, share in the comments section, if you agree, disagree, whatever, it's all good. Um, but one of the things I began to think about, which still stands true to me, right, is this thought is access does not necessarily mean power. Access does not necessarily mean power. You've heard, and a lot of people, you hear it, especially, in our community to a certain extent, we got to be able to be at the table. We need access. I would even argue um, coming up, April 4th, we'll be celebrating with some other clergy around, the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. But I would argue if one thing I think that we've learned out of that whole movement is that access does not necessarily guarantee power. Yeah, access, the whole fight in that whole thing was we should be able to have access to certain places. But we're learning even now that access does not necessarily uh, lead to power, a level of power where our circumstances and our situations in totality can really be changed. And this is why, you know, you can agree or disagree, and I'm cool with you disagreeing. This is why I don't believe in the notion of the one. I don't really celebrate that kind of stuff any longer. When people, all of these notions around the first black this and the first black that. I don't celebrate that because I feel like if we're still talking about that, we're not really where we need to be. And I'm a firm believer that one black face in a high place don't change nothing. It don't. And so access to me does not necessarily equate power. And so we have been told for so many years, oh, we gotta, so and so is around the table. So, we kind of gotta make sure we don't say anything. But oftentimes in those situations, um, them folk get paid while we get played. I'm just keeping it 100 because access doesn't necessarily equate to power. You know, one of my favorite shows that just went off is The Godfather of Harlem. And they kind of soft and bumpy a little bit, but the whole notion, of that is he is like, yo, I want to have my own. I don't want to be under the thumb of other folk because he had access, but in reality, he didn't really have the kind of power that he wanted because access does not simply equate to power. And many of us think that. Many of us think just because someone has access that they might have a level of power, but in most retrospects, they don't have power because if they want to still get that money, if they still want to be in that company, they don't have the capacity to really speak the way that they need to speak, specifically uh, when things go left for the majority of us. They now have to be the ones who come in and try to temper us. You hear that rally cry, let's be peaceful, all of this kind of stuff. Are you following what I'm saying? And so access doesn't necessarily mean power. And a lot of us think that, but it doesn't. It doesn't. We have had over the last 30 some years, we've had so many black folks in the House of Representatives in DC, but still fighting and still being challenged by some of the same things before they ever showed up. That's just a reality. I'm not knocking the fact that they're there. We're grateful for that, but access alone does not guarantee power. Um, you gain power through collective action. Through this notion of collective thinking around specific things as it relates to culture and all of those particular things. I would argue we're the only people who buy into the notion of you shouldn't be thinking the same when it comes to those certain things. All of the cultures, they think that way. This is how, no disrespect, but how Asian folks can come in and sell all types of women hair care products all throughout our community, and you never see anybody in there black because they keep all of their money in house. They come into our community, take our dollars, then take them out to take what they glean from us, nail shops, hair shops. I'm just keeping it 100. And then they go spend amongst themselves. So they keep their money circulating amongst themselves. just keeping it 100, just keeping it 100. And so another thing, are y'all pick? Did I lose some of y'all? I'm just keeping it 100. You know, just take a look around when you go in. Sometimes be nobody in there black selling nothing because they come into our community, don't live in our communities, take our dollars and then go and circulate their dollars amongst themselves. That's just the reality. That's just what it is. But we're often told we ought not to be thinking the same, or we've been told worry about yourself. But nobody else does that. That's just it's just that's just it's an honest truth. You feel what I'm saying? That's an honest truth. The other thing is, um, one of these things that I think about. We all have a responsibility to facilitate change. We all have a responsibility to facilitate change. This whole Moses complex. Some of us are still looking for the next Dr. King. I would even argue that some of the folk who are on the forefront, Dr. Jamal Bryant, he tells a story, being in a space and one of our famous civil rights speakers is getting ready to speak, and another famous leans over and basically says, what his problem is, to the one who's speaking, he lived too long. In other words, we don't do a very good job of passing the baton, especially in the last 40 or 50 years. Where somebody who is like coming up on my age is considered to be a young fella. Failing to realize that Dr. King was in his 20s when he started his movement, when he started that movement. Died in his 30s, did not live a long life. But now we have folk who are like in their 70s and 80s, and they don't want to pass the baton. I'm a firm believer that our older folk bring wisdom, but it is, our younger folk who carry the water, who bring the energy. But we have so many so-called Black leaders or whatever, and take a look at our churches, man. A lot of these folk don't want to even let me leave it alone. Just old. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking that, but I'm just simply saying, yeah, we we don't transition well. We don't pass the baton well. And we need to be doing that. We need to be doing that. Older for wisdom. See, I'm a firm. Look, I tell people all the time. Listen, you never say what, but I'll say this. My heart's desire is to be living, but I don't want to be pastoring nobody when I get into my 70s. I'm keeping it 100. I'm not one of them old school who want to die in the pulpit. I don't. I feel this. I feel, the same way that you feel about your job when you get to, a certain retirement age and you say, man, all right, I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to move on. That don't mean I stop living, but I don't want to be doing this. You follow that? This is the only space kind of where people is like, yo, I want to die. I want to die in the pulpit. No, not me. You feel what I'm saying? Because at some point, this job requires a lot of energy. Lot of energy. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't want, I remember young in my ministry, the church I was at, these folk did not want the pastor to retire. He was like 80, something like that. And the last time he came into the pulpit, tired, but they didn't want to see him go. He got up there. He said, listen, I can't do this anymore. They was like, oh, no, pastor, we don't want. But here's the reality. Before he got up, one of the other pastors, he was asleep, had to tap him like, yo, all right, doc, you up now. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't feel like there's any glory in that. This requires a lot of energy, and when it's that time, I want to pass the baton and I want to go sit on a beach somewhere. I'm keeping it 100. That's where I want to be. You know what I mean? I'm dark now, but I want to get darker from the sun rays hitting on my head. You follow what I'm saying? That just keeping it 100. I don't. Hey, if you see this video, you don't like it. I don't know what to tell you, but that is not my heart's desire. Follow what I'm saying? Be chasing after, fussing with young folk to try to get them to do anything. When I'm in my 70s and 80s, I want to be sitting back, sipping on some tea on the beach somewhere, chilling. That's just keeping it 100. You feel what I'm saying? Here's another thing. Anybody feel what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I don't know why we don't like understand that correlation in terms of, when you get to a certain age, you want to retire from what you're doing, right? Maybe do something else. And I don't know why we don't understand that in some of these other spaces. You follow what I'm saying? Where you say, Lord, I feel you, right? When you get to that place of being ready to retire, not saying that you're going to stop living, but you're going to say, yo, I'm giving up this job. You follow what I'm saying? I did my time. Now it's time for some young folk to go ahead and carry it on and everything like that. And so, that's me. That's me. Another thing that, I was just looking, again, I just looked back on some notes when I was running for particular things. Some of the things that I talked about, I still kind of believe some of those things. I still kind of believe a lot of those things. Another thing is this. I strongly believe in organized people. Organized people are the key to bringing about positive change. I don't believe that our world is lived out in isolation. I know a lot of people do. I mean, you go on social media, all you hear is the talk of worry about yourself. I don't agree with that. I think that ultimate change comes about through organized people. It is through organized people, organized efforts that our world will start to turn and make a positive change. That's what I really believe, because I'm one uh, who firmly believes, if you're going up a mountain by yourself, a steep mountain, and you get to the top of the mountain, a great accomplishment and everything, but if you don't have anybody there to help you celebrate in that, then that's loneliness. And a lot of things that we see in our society now, this is why when we think about family and different things, is because everybody has this, this kind of mindset that says, I don't need anybody else. And so we have a lot of people who are achieving certain things, but they're broken, they're lonely. In some retrospects, they're miserable, got a bunch of money in their pocket, but they're frustrated because they can't find a woman or can't find a man. They're frustrated because they have nobody to kind of share in that. And so I believe that God built us for relationships. Notice he says something, where two or three are gathered, I promise to be in the midst. How good and pleasant it is when all of my people come together. In that place, I command the blessing. So I'm not sitting here arguing and saying that people can't achieve things in and of themselves, but I don't think anybody makes it to any level of real positive impact and change for the world around them just simply in and of themselves. Even if you achieve to the highest heights, there was somebody who helped you to get there. So this notion of pulling your own self up by your bootstraps, no, man. Somebody offered you some shoes. Somebody gave you some wisdom along the way. Somebody put some change in your pocket along the way when you couldn't. Somebody pointed you in the right direction when you didn't know which direction to go. You know, it is so much better doing it together. I just believe that. So that's what you know, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Um, Number three, when we're thinking about, um, culture, you know, I think, you know, culture, not vision or strategy, is the most powerful factor because if you have a good culture, people who want to work together, people who want to hang with one another, people who want to go through the struggles together, people who have a level of grace for one another. That's how you build things. That's how you accomplish things because everybody come in understanding that they have a level of weakness that somebody else comes to help in. It's kind of like what Paul says: "The hand cannot say to the foot that I have no need of thee." And so, if you're trying to build anything, you got to work on the culture, right? You got to work on the culture. These safe places, these non-judgmental places where people want to be motivated to grow and to learn and to succeed, and all of that kind of good stuff. So, see, when you recognize that, you understand that culture is about people. Yeah, and we hear all these terms: hip hop culture. Uh, uh, all of these different types of things that they throw culture on. But at the end of the day, culture is about people. And people are the most important thing. I was sitting in something the other day. I actually, we was trying to get a bill passed around something. And one of the senators asked me a question because I said that at some point we're going to have to start getting back to caring about people and not just entities. When I'm talking about entities, I'm talking about corporations and businesses and all of that. You hear all the lingo around that. I know in the spaces I'm in, this is business, 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 and I'm with that. But and so I say, we have to, this state has to make a decision. Do we want to get back to the business of people or just entities? And one of the senators pointed to me and basically like, well, I'm one of those entities. And I'm like, well, I'm an entity too, right? But at the end of the day, it is in fact people who keep the engine running, right? Businesses in and of themselves without people who want to be there, who have a passion to be there. Um, that's what keeps things flowing. And so if we don't get back to the business of people developing, you know, culture, and I talk about that even amongst us, what are our shared values? What do we really believe in? What do we really want? You know, outside of a dance, celebration, something like that, symbolic stuff. But it's culture, that's very important. Um, and then what else? What else? I think I didn't talked enough. Oh, yeah, yeah. What else? What else? Commitment. Commitment. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, you got to have a level of commitment to it. You know, commitment to make it through the tough times, commitment, you know, to see it through, commitment to be a part, yeah. Um, it takes commitment. And anybody who's not willing to be committed to a thing will never see a thing come to pass. Right. So it has to be I guess I'll say it like this. Let me know if you're feeling this, right? Um, unless commitment is made, There is only promise and hope, but no plans. Unless commitment is made, there is only promise and hope, but no plans. Right? Uh, Commitment is a desire to not only dream about it, but to bring it to pass, to see it come to fruition, to complete the job, to uh, kind of say what Nehemiah says. So we built the wall because the people had a mind to work. You dig what I'm saying? So um, without commitment, it's just a promise and a hope, but no plans. Commitment says, yeah, we're going to see it through. We're going to get her done. We're going to finish this project. We're going to make it happen. All of that um, kind of stuff. So, yeah, commitment to the change, commitment to the community, commitment to the struggle, commitment to one another. And then finally, one of the things that I stand on is creativity. Um, you have to be able to navigate through the ebbs and flows. You got to learn how to be creative. There's those folk used to say there's plenty ways, more than one way to skin a cat, if you will, if I can use that analogy. But at the end of the day, you got to learn how to be creative. You got to learn how to navigate um, and be willing to change and begin and understand what it means to operate organically, not always having to be tied to one system or method of thinking. You got to be creative. You got to be creative, and then you got to understand, man, that problems are a blessing. Problems are a blessing because the one who has the capacity to have an answer to that problem, those are the ones who get paid. See, God, I believe God put us on this earth to answer the questions or answer the problems, to be the solutions to the problems of our day. Our day, the day that we're living in right now. God has blessed you and I with the creativity, the ingenuity, all of that kind of stuff to be the answer to the problems of our day. So problems are just basically possibilities in disguise, if you can see it that way, right? So the next time you see a problem, uh, think about it. Yeah, that's just possibilities in disguise. And the one who has the answer to solve the problems is the one who gets paid. You dig what I'm saying? So some of us run away from problems. Some of us run to problems because those of us who run to problems, we understand if I can solve that problem, I can get paid because problems are just possibilities in disguise. Here's the reality. What we're doing tonight is an answer to a problem. Pandemic hits, everything shuts down. How are we going to be able to navigate through certain things? Boom. All of these type of solutions, apps come up to help us to navigate through our world. Wasn't nobody thinking about Zoom and all of those things prior to that, but it became the answer to the problem. Now them folk over there at Zoom getting paid. Can you dig it? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So we gotta understand that problems are just possibilities in disguise, and the ones who have the commitment to face the challenges and the problems of their day are the ones who get paid. Simple as that. And there's an old saying. I heard it from somebody, but you know how it is. After you done said it a few times, the first time you hear it, you give that person credit. Oh, I heard this from so and so. Uh, you know, but after you done said about 10 times, now it becomes your own. You know what I mean? And here's the reality, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't really that blessed. Simple as that. If you don't got no haters, you're not really that blessed because your haters get you blessed. That's Psalms 23. He prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies. My cup runneth over. Your haters get you blessed. So if you ain't got no haters, you ain't really that blessed. You ain't really that, let me say it like this. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't really that gifted. Because your haters help you to be blessed. You dig what I'm saying? So you got to understand that. So a lot of times when you see your perceived haters coming, you ought to smile because that's connected to a blessing. He prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies. My cup runneth over. If you can recognize that and understand that, he sets up a way where your haters have to watch you eat. After all of the naysaying that they said, all of the things that they said about you, is anybody in the space picking up what I'm putting down? Because, I feel my help coming on right about here, right around here. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm about to wrap this up. But if you can understand that, you can understand, they get you blessed because they give you the strength and the tenacity and the ability to basically say, I'm going to show them. Anybody ever been there? See, some of my largest projects that were completed was because somebody told me that I couldn't do it. And now they sitting around. I walk into some places and some folk are like, how did he get here? Without going through them. They got to watch me eat. We built something here in this city that nobody, truthfully, we were a story of Nehemiah. Folks literally like, yo, if they build it, if the fox crawling, the thing will fall down. Didn't think we had the capacity to do it, but somebody dared to tell me that we couldn't do it. And I was like, watch. So if you can think about it like that, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't that gifted. It is in fact Nehemiah's haters that really compelled him and pushed him to get the job done. And so I just want to encourage somebody tonight, listen, don't be tripping off of your haters. Because if you get committed, if you become resilient, if you develop the fortitude, your haters are going to watch you eat. Because while they talking all that nonsense, you solving problems. You dig what I'm saying? Because problems ain't nothing but possibilities in disguise. I think I'm going to wrap it up on that tonight. Anybody picking up what I'm putting down? I said a lot tonight, but, kind of everywhere. But y'all dig what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? If you didn't hear anything, don't trip off of your haters. Them fools come to get you blessed. You know what I mean? They come to get you blessed. They really do. They really do. Yeah. So, he sets up a system. Hey, well, they got to watch you eat. So I'm thankful for that. Hey, I was listening to music and everything like that. Jessica, I couldn't find some of Scooby's music, but I know he loves little soul music and everything. And I was thinking about that. And I said, that's what I'm gonna play tonight. I normally don't typically play the words with the music or whatever, but I figured I would rock this. And y'all let me know if y'all feeling this. It's a nice little groove and everything tonight. Let's keep Jessica and her family lifted up in prayer. I believe that they put up something as well. Jessica, put it in the comments section in terms of GoFundMe. If anybody want to help them in that particular area, please do that. Please do that. So we're gonna dedicate this one right here to to Scooby. It's just it's just a nice little flow, groove, and everything like that. Y'all let me know if you're feeling it. Here we go. Hey, hey, I need to get out of here. I love y'all so much. Big up to everybody who came into the space tonight. Yeah, just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just a little slow jam, a little melody, just to help us get through the rest of this Monday. And I appreciate y'all so much. Make sure that you're lifting up one another, that you're loving on one another. Tomorrow's not promised, and all we have in this moment is one another. To love the people that need to be loved, care for the people who need to be loved, share the people who need sharing, give to the people who need to give. Again, this goes out to school. This goes out to Jessica. Hey, we love y'all so much. We're praying for you. May the Lord continue to speak to you as y'all go through this moment. Hey, I'm out of here. Talk to y'all real soon. Peace, everybody. Come in.